Facebook groups, to see my group, there's only one hurdle. You have to have a profile on Facebook, but we do not need to be friends. You have a profile on Facebook, you can see the group and the discussion and the photos and the videos, whatever's on that group. We don't have to be friends for you to do that. So it's a little more open to the public. The other thing that is important is that it's unlimited. You can have as many members as you want. And there are groups that have more members than you can imagine. I think I have some screen captures of those as well. And then as well, the third thing is you can email group members. And this is important because it's not the case with a page. So, and you see the trajectory here. Profiles has 2 hurdles. Groups has 1 hurdle. And how many hurdles do you think pages have? 0. So the assumption is, oh, pages must be the best. But you can't email your members in pages. When you have a Facebook page, you can only send an update to your members. And updates, for those of you who are on Facebook, and I'm sure most of you are, when you log on, off to the right-hand side in your profile, in the place where you never look, it says you have 59 updates that you haven't read, right? Nobody reads their updates. You can send 100 updates, no one ever reads them. So that's a major disadvantage of a page. In a group, you can email your members. Okay, it's very, very, very powerful. So think about if you had a group, and again, I've got some screen captures, but if you had a group with 2,000 members, that's like having an email list with 2,000 members on it. How many people here have an email? I do not have 2,000 people on my email list. I know a couple of people who do, but yeah, there's a few people here who do. But the bottom line is if you have a group that has a few thousand members, that is a very, very powerful marketing medium. It is an asset that you can sell. I mean, really, in a lot of different ways. So here is this group that said, when I was your age, Pluto used to be a planet. It's a group that started on Facebook. And today, that group has almost 2 million members. It took off, right? Who knew? The thing took off. There's 2 million members. Facebook only has 200 million people on it. That means almost 1 in 100 people are a member of this group. Can you believe it? I'll bet you anything, there's probably one person in this audience, there's 100 people here, is a member of this group. Who knows? But imagine the asset that this is. 2 million people, the guy can send an email to 2 million people, almost 1.7 million people. Can you imagine the power? He's being solicited day and night to do joint venture with other people who are trying to sell stuff, who want to sell stuff to his group. Well, you want to see what the kid looks like? This is the kid who started it. That's him. It's his group. He started it. He's a kid. He's a kid. He's probably one of the youngest people. If he was here in the room, he'd be one of the youngest. And he's got 1.7 million people in his Facebook group. Very, very interesting. This stuff to me is incredibly fascinating because any one of us could be this kid. What he did is not extraordinary. It took off. Right, and that's it. All right. So some of you know the name Christine Comaford. And she's kind of a local guru. She's a business accelerator. She actually is very good at what she does. She was one of the original angel investors in Google. And she started a group on Facebook called Business Renegades. And that group, it took a little while for it to get started. And she did some advertising to get it started. She kind of, pimped it a little bit and tried to get people to do stuff on it. But here's what ends up happening. If I can engage my community, right, if I can get her to upload a photo, or if I can get him to write something in the discussion board, everyone in her network is notified that she did that. Everyone in his network is notified that he did that because it shows up in the news feed that is on his account. The viral opportunity is unbelievable. So if I can engage someone in my group, I automatically augment my exposure through their network. Right? So you just have to get this thing started. And then you have to engage. Get people to engage. Get people to interact. What's it going to get to get someone to click once? That's the start. There's been studies done on this. You get someone to click on a website just once, their trust level doubles. Now, granted, it might be from like 1% to 2%, right? I mean, it's, it's still the beginning. But that first click is the start. The more interaction equals trust. Interaction equals trust. You get people to interact with you, they're going to start to trust you. The more they interact, the more they trust. Right? There's studies on this. If they're interacting, it means they're trusting. It means they're engaging. If you can get people to engage, right, share your ideas, upload your photos, share your videos. Anyone have any other ideas, any suggestions, anything I've forgotten? Just constantly baiting your audience to engage, because as soon as they do, it's augmented through their own network and the group grows. And now, this is actually quite old, so her group's got well over 2,000 members. And every time I log onto Facebook, I know Christine, I've volunteered at some of her events, so we've kind of distantly know. We're not friends, but we distantly know each other. So I'm always curious to see what she's doing. And I check, and every time I log on, it does a 7-day lag time. 16 new members, 24 new members, 18 new members. There's constantly people joining her group. And the viral thing has started. So what could you start a group about? Right? How can you engage your audience and get them to interact? Just think about your own business.